Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer some crystal information, adding to our crystal collection we're building here on the channel. And tonight I want to talk about a little stone that is rather new to me. I've been using it for about 5-6 years now, and that is Amazonite. This is a very pale version of it. Um, it is generally seen between greenish, light green to dark green, or blue green, kind of a turquoise type color. The energy tends to be receptive, so it draws things in and it helps encourage things. The elemental energy that's most associated with Amazonite is Earth, and the planetary universal energy, if you will, is Uranus. So this is a stone of support, a little bit of mystery, but there's definitely power behind it. It comes across as gentle, but there's quite the punch when you start working with it. Some key words with that are success and money. It's also seen as a gambler's or good luck stone, peace, harmony, and communication. And the communication part goes a lot with more of the blue aspects of it, which I don't have any really blue ones, unfortunately, but we'll keep going with that one. And if you are someone who likes to work with angels, Archangel Ragael, which I have done a video on before, he is associated with the stone of Amazonite as well. And so this particular stone is actually one of the members of Feldspar, so it gets those little flashes in it sometimes. And I have some orgone pyramids that I've made, and there was one of them. There it is. I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's some little flashy parts that are in this stone base here. I'm not sure if they're going to show up. Probably not. But they do have that feldspar flash, which looks really cool when it's in bigger pieces. I unfortunately don't have any of those. I've just seen them in some shops. But where was I? Sorry. Amazonite comes from the name comes from the Amazon jungle, where it was originally rediscovered. We'll call it that in the 1840s. But there is some evidence to say that it was actually in use long before that time. It is said that one of the scarab rings in King Tut's tomb was made of Amazonite. It has also been seen to be used in parts of India, Mesopotamia, so not just Egypt, but there's a lot of cultural references that I found. And it was used for a lot of things during those times. It wasn't just for, well, that looks pretty sitting on the shelf. That was part of it, but they also used it for writing slabs, like chiseled notes into it. You would use it for talismans, which this, I guess you could call this a talisman or an amulet, depending on how you used it. But they also used it for jewelry, trinkets, things like that. So a lot of your bluish greenish stones, if you ever go through and look at some of the art from the history, you'll see some of these colors, and a lot of the times it would be the family of Amazonite, because it's been an older stone. That's just the more modern name for it, because we found it in the 1840s, so it had to be the first time, right? Not really. It has about a 4,000 year history that they've found so far. Amazonite is thought to also be the third stone on the high priest's breastplate from the Jewish temple garments. We've talked a little bit about that before. Aquamarine being one of the really potent ones that we've talked about. Amazonite was also seen to be, I think it's on the top row, it's the third one over. So if you look at those pictures, which I didn't, I thought I had some downloaded and I didn't. So there's always a whole bunch of colors, and the third one's generally green, and it was thought to be Amazonite. So has some pretty powerful history with it. This stone has some pretty interesting, fun abilities. It's been used for years to aid in success in pretty much any area of life that you need it. The one thing I will say from the work I've done with it, you want to set your intention. Until that intention has been completed, don't try to use the same Amazonite stone for another intention, because it'll split the energies and you will basically not get either one. So make sure you're working one at a time, or get multiple Amazonites and label them. That way you can keep your intentions more clearly focused. One of the more common uses that I've seen is in gambling. I've known a few gamblers over the years. They tend to be really superstitious, so they have their specific things that they do before they do any form of gambling, whether it's on sports or cards or whatever. And it used to be believed that this was one of the stones that a gambler would carry, and if they had good luck with it, they would never part with that stone. They would probably give up their boots before they give up that stone. So that is one of the aspects of it. If you have if you're in that position where you're ready to take a chance, you're ready to step out and do the thing, whatever that may be. Uh, Amazonite can actually help you get success or win at that situation you're working on. So if you're starting a business, if you're asking that special girl or guy out, or if you happen to be ready to propose, keeping a little chunk of Amazonite in your pocket, wearing a necklace with Amazonite in it, or if you can find the rings, those are not as easy to find. I was looking. But if you can find something like that to wear for you, that has a good indicator of increasing your luck with your outcome. Amazonite also is, because it is green in nature and associated with the element of earth, works with all of the things of hearth and home. Earth is where that structure is, which includes finances. And that is the things that make life more comfortable: money, love, and health. So you can really use this one for an all-around stone, and it's an amplifier aspect. We'll get into that here in a second. But um, when you're really wanting to look at that, like these particular guys that I'm showing here, these are some of my orgons. This one is a money drawing one, because you've got your Amazonite, but it's also a think tank. It's got a little tiger's eye in there. So this is inspirational, helping you get those $1 million ideas, if you will. And if you get $1 million, just give me credit me for helping. But when we're looking at it from those perspectives, this is one of those ones where it's just kind of a good stone to have in the household. This is another energy if you work with healing arts, or if you're more interested in kind of opening up your chakras yourself. Amazonite works really well with the heart or with the throat. The heart, if it's more the green aspect, if it's more the turquoise blue, that one was more for the throat chakra. Because of those two associations, specifically the throat, communication is a big part of Amazonite. And it also helps you amplify your passions, which is the heart. And so this is good and bad, because open communication, great. There are some things you want to make sure you remember with Amazonite. If you get impassioned about a topic and the other person also is amping up because they're impassioned about their topic, Amazonite can actually play into that a little bit. Things can get a little rowdy, but the beauty of working with Amazonite is this stone is a peacemaker. So you might get a little feisty, you might get a little mouthy with each other, but you're going to be able to laugh it off when you're over, because yes, you were both having passionate moments about your feelings, but it doesn't tend to go in the nasty vein. So it's one of those, you can have a really good debate but walk away friends. That's the energy that Amazonite can amplify. Not everyone's going to have that experience, just so we're clear. But if you notice that that starts happening, but everyone's good at the end, it's probably this little dude. um, the other thing that is interesting with Amazonite is when you need to speak clearly, you need to speak with truth, and you might be in a situation where having emotions are probably not the best option. Like if you're going to talk to a coworker about something, or if you happen to be an employer and you have to have a discussion with an employee, and it doesn't, I'm not talking like firing or anything like that, even if it's disciplinary, where you don't want to do this, you're going to get emotional. Having Amazonite can help temper the emotional side of things, which allows you to speak the truth without getting that inflamed. Again, make sure you're carrying it with clear intention. That way you're staying focused on what you're actually doing with it. You wouldn't want to take one that you've put the intention of success into that situation. That might not work out the best for you, but it helps you understand both sides of an equation. So if you're someone who struggles with understanding the other person when you're having just general conversations, or if you happen to be discussing something a little more we'll say volatile with like we'll go sports, or we'll say like religion. There's certain terms I will not use. But if you happen to have those kind of conversations, having Amazonite involved can help you see the other person's point of view. You don't have to agree with them, but it opens up that line of communication where you can show compassion and understanding. So that person may disagree with you. That's cool, but you now can enunciate how you view your views are different. And it actually, if both parties are open in the conversation, you can learn a lot about people with this stone. Like I said, it's kind of unassuming, it's just a little green thing, greenish blue depending, but there's a lot of potency with this dude. And that's why it's has some of its associated friends, which are going to be like turquoise and aquamarine. Those are stones that carry a similar vibration. So this is not a low level stone. This one's up here. uh, Another part of this hearth, home, and earth energy aspect of Amazonite is it likes to calm energies, but it also encourages your passion, which sounds contradictory. But think about it. When you're stressed out, when you're overwhelmed, when you're dealing with anxiety, depression, fill in the blank, work's driving you nuts, and you come home from work, do you have any energy or interest in chasing your passions? Whether that's artistic or um, other passions, we'll call it that, and you can have as many ideas as you want there. Any of those type of energies, when you have a stressful day at work and you're just exhausted from it, when you come home, do you have any interest in any of that? The answer in most cases is no. But if you can find a way to stay calm or bring down that energy, your passions or your interests in those things that are outside of work are going to come back up. So this is one of those stones where, especially if you work in a job where, like a call center job, have one of these on your desk. If you happen to be someone who deals in retail or customer service, necklace, even having a pocket worry stone of Amazonite is going to be could be very, very beneficial in keeping you more calm, grounding out some of that energies that are being stirred up. And when you feel more calm, when you don't have those other anxieties going on, your passion for life goes up. So it's one of those, yeah, you'll want to go out and go hiking. You're going to want to work on that painting. You're going to want to work on that sewing project. You're going to want to uh, have more fun with your partner when you get home from work because you're in a better headspace. So there's some fun energy here with Amazonite. It also helps to balance the masculine and the feminine. And like I said, earth energy, hearth, home, all that fun stuff, finances, love, passion, relationships, this all ties into Amazonite. And when you, like I said, you bring in the outer planet of Uranus, there's an amplification of energy with this. So when you want, like I said before, when you really want to start sitting down and working with this crystal, you want to set a clear intention with it. You want to hold it in your dominant hand. If you are right-handed, that will be your right hand. If you're left-handed, it's your left hand. Say your intentions out loud. Get clear before you start this process. Get clear on what you're asking, and then set your intention while holding it. Some people will say you're going to hold it in your dominant hand and you're going to speak over it so that it can absorb it, but you're also reminding the universe, hey, I've got this intention, here's my tool, let's work this together. So it's kind of a fun way to integrate your intentions with a physical item. And then if you have a pyramid or you have a worry stone that you carry in your pocket, each time you touch that, it will remind you, oh yeah, I have this intention. I'm working on better communication. I'm working on the success of my business. I'm working on calming my energies when I'm in stressful situations. It's a way for you to help integrate this into your daily life. Because really, if we can bring more spirituality into our everyday, you might notice there's a huge difference in how people respond to life. Notice I said spirituality, and we'll keep it with that for now. The other thing with Amazonite, if you're looking for some transformative energy, or you're looking to really step into, get out of the funk that you're in, so to speak, you want to pair it with something like black tourmaline or smoky quartz. Black tourmaline is another super delicate stone, so that one could be a little bit interesting mixing those two together. But smoky quartz is another pretty firm stone, so you can put those in like a little what do they call them? Gree bags, the little leather pouches you put your crystals and stuff into. You can put them in there. If you happen to get a necklace, some beads, you can do it that way. There's a lot of ways you can put these two stones together, but they tend to amp each other up. So it's like they feed on each other's energy and it gets stronger. So having them together is definitely going to be beneficial. The one thing that I've found from working with this stone over the last few years, I haven't found a stone it doesn't like. It is an amplifier. Again, we're talking that bringing in that Uranus energy. So whatever it's with, it wants to boost. So if you're carrying it with smoky quartz and black tourmaline, it's going to boost the grounding energy of those two stones. It's also going to amplify the protection energy of those two stones. If you pair it with like aquamarine, you're going to enhance aquamarine's spiritual aspects, its crown chakra, third eye energy. If you pair it with, I'm looking at the stone, amethyst, it's going to amplify the heart, the third eye, overall healing and spirituality. It's going to really boost your meditation. Again, not medical advice or anything like that, just experiences I've used. It takes whatever's there and magnifies it. So if you're struggling with meditation and you have amethyst, pick up a amazonite. Keep the two of them together. Put one in one hand, one in the other when you're meditating. Put them on your altar if you have an altar for meditation. If you are struggling with something at work, have a piece of black tourmaline, have your amazonite, whatever else you need there, ground the energy and amplify the other. If you are putting it in, like, say, your bedroom, and your partner, and you want to really build that more intimate connection, amazonite, aquamarine, rose quartz. You're going to see a boosting of that energies. So there's a lot of ways you can use this to build upon the base level here. Amazonite, going along some of those energies, helps deal with the loneliness, and we talked a little bit about that earlier. But if you happen to feel like you're always alone, you're just by yourself, no one cares, or you feel unworthy, I would never be able to open my own business. I'm too scared. I'm just not smart enough for that. Please. Or you're in that situation where I'll never get that promotion because I'm just not smart enough. I'm not good enough. Have you met management? Because trust me, they're flailing as much as anyone else is. The stone is going to help you find your inner balance, help you find and realize your value, where your skill sets are. It might amplify some of them, but it's really good at keeping you true to yourself. So sometimes you might not realize you have some of these talents. And it also proves to your soul, which is going to amplify out, as above, so below, that you have value, that you are important, that you are worthy of love, you are worthy of that business, you are worthy of that promotion, whatever it is. It also is going to keep you in perspective. Yes, I'm ready to step into that role. What do I need to learn? Yes, I want to open that business. What part do I not know yet? I want to get into that relationship. Is there something that I need to clear up before that door will open? It's showing you the truth by showing you you're ready. Or maybe you're not ready, and here's where you can start the project of cleaning it up so you're ready for it. It also encourages that positive action, like we were saying. And sometimes that positive action is a mindset. You have to get over a certain mindset. You might have to adjust something in your thinking pattern or your sleeping pattern, for some of us, that could amplify this energy. It also will help you raise your self-esteem. So if you're having physical body issues like, that person will never date me, I'm too fat. Or that person will never date me because I'm too short. Or I'll never get that position because, well, so-and-so is so much smarter than me. Whoever that is might not even want the job. So why are you saying that to yourself? When you start to really clear that stuff out, it builds your self-esteem. And I'm not talking about arrogance of I'm better than everyone else. It's self-esteem as in, actually, you know what? I'm willing to learn to get into that position. I'm willing to start hitting the gym. Who knows? You might meet the person at the gym and they see that you're working out and they're wanting to encourage, and that could be the start of your relationship. Don't block what God's source will do, and don't block the tools he puts in your place by saying things like, oh, I'm just not good enough or whatever. get out of that funk state, and Amazonite can help you break some of those cycles. Is it going to be a cure-all? No, you have work to do too, but it's definitely going to amplify what you're doing. And sometimes that amplification is reminding yourself that you need to have those healthy barriers. Sometimes it's a family member that's overbearing. Sometimes it's an employer. It could be something else that's going on where you just don't feel like you have personal time anymore. Bring in the Amazonite. What do I need to set this up so I can have some healthier boundaries? And that's some of those things you don't think about when we work with the crystal energy is there's a lot more to it. The stone is very unassuming. I mean, you can look at any of these. There's nothing super special here as far as color, texture, pattern. But when you realize what that little green stone can do, it changes how you view that stone for sure. So these are some ideas that you can work with. And there's one I saved for the end of the video. This is for you parents out there. And I don't care what, how your living situation is. This is a little trick I was digging around on with for some parent stuff, and I tricked a few different places, and there's actually people who've commented on this. This calming stone is great to help you get organized and clear on you as a grown-up. And this is the key part, if you hide a piece of Amazonite in your child's room, and it has to stay hidden, if they find it, this will stop working at that point. It has been thought to help with tidiness. So as long as it stays hidden, it could be influencing the child to maybe not leave their toys all over the place, get their clothes in the hamper. You might try this with your husbands too. But it's one of those energies where it helps focus on what needs to be done in the household. Again, hearth and home energy, but as soon as you find it, if they happen to find it wherever it is in their bedroom, it's said that the energy stops immediately, and then when when you get it back, or if you have to go get another one, you have to re-hide it to trigger the same response. And it was kind of fun researching that, so try it out. Let me know in the comments if you have ever used Amazonite like that, or if you are trying it out, what's your response? Like, what's happening afterwards? So those are some kind of fun ideas you can work with there. With that, I think we'll wrap this one up. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and weekend, and I will see you in the next video.